Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. I'm your host, Ellie Sennhenn. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, we will take a look at Quad Fest, Stuff a Pumpkin fundraiser, Taylor Swift's new album, and attend Zumba on the Quad. And of course, Gerard Villemenay will have all things Rhody athletics covered in this week's Rhody Sports Corner. For our top story, the University of Rhode Island celebrated its annual Quad Festival on September 30th. Editor Morganne Judd set out to the Quad to capture some of the highlights. Here's Morganne on the Quad.
Well, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning here on the URI Quad, and what a better way to celebrate than with URI's annual Quad Fest. Quad Fest is a way for students to learn about clubs and organizations on campus. The festival also includes a variety of different activities for students to participate in, from rock climbing, games on the quad, and even animals. Quad Fest has it all. President of the University of Rhode Island, Mark Parlawn, shared his thoughts on why students should attend Quad Fest.
They can learn about a lot of quads that are here. They can also learn about a lot of activities going on everything from the theater. Pride and Prejudice is coming up to you can go ride a shark, or you could go and get an apple, or you can, from the police, you can also pick up a hot dog or a grilled cheese. So it's just a time to relax, to come out. It's also midterm time on campus, so students have been working really, really hard getting ready.
This is Morganne Judd reporting for the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. Back to you.
Thanks, Morganne. This week on campus, the Pink Women organization hosted a Stuff a Pumpkin fundraising event. Reporter Anxhelika Deda visited the event to learn more about this fundraiser. Here's Anxhelika with the story.
This past Monday, October 6th, Pink Women hosted a Stuff a Pumpkin event at the Memorial Union Atrium 2 from 12 to 3 p.m.
PINK stands for Powerful, Independent, Notoriously Knowledgeable Women. We are a multicultural organization on campus, and we just promote academic success and just overall building community.
So being able to see these girls put on these different events, really creative events, has meant a lot, and seeing the growth of the organization overall. Events like this help us connect with different members of the community that aren't in our organization, which is really nice, and kind of just show them what we do as an organization, because not a lot of people, I feel, know what Pink is or what we do.
So the money is going towards our fundraising account, so that we could keep funding events like this. We donate to breast cancer, and we also donate to the domestic violence organizations in Rhode Island.
Pink will be hosting more events like these. For the Good 5 Cent Cigar, I'm Anxhelika Deda.
Thanks, Anxhelika. Music artist Taylor Swift released her newest album, Life of a Showgirl, last Friday. Within a week of its release, the album has faced many mixed reviews on social media. Do our Rhody Rams think they will add this album to their wish list, or do they mark it as canceled? Here's Chan-Smutko with the feedback.
Artist Taylor Swift has released her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, last Friday, and we're going to go around campus to see people's thoughts because there's been some mixed reviews online.
I've only listened to a couple of the songs, but I wasn't really impressed. I really like pretty much all of her other albums, and I was really excited.
I think it was a really good album. I think it's definitely different from a lot of her other albums. I think the lyrics are still explaining something, and I think it's kind of talking about her love for Travis and their relationship, which I think is really cool. But I definitely really like the album, and I'm excited for maybe another album, which could be really fun.
I think it was trash. Absolutely guttural trash. I think she was just taking all of the things that are in mass media right now just to get some sort of coverage for herself, because she isn't in the paper anymore because of her and Travis Kelce's whole situation, and then it's a money grab, so I don't think it's good.
This has been Chan-Smutko with the Good 5 Cent Cigar. Back to you.
Thanks, Casey. Are you ready to move with the music? This week, Eliza White and Morganne Judd headed to Zumba on the Quad, hosted by URI Health Services. Here's Eliza White with the story.
I'm here on the URI Quad, and as you can see behind me, we're doing some Zumba this week. Come with me.
Today's session was taught by Zumba Group X instructor Paige Scalette. During our session, we were taught a series of dances that had our bodies engaged.
I'm here with Paige. We just finished up our Zumba session, and Paige, can you talk about what is Zumba exactly?
Zumba is a cardio form of Just Dance. If you've ever played Just Dance when you were a kid, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot like that Yeah.
And what are the health benefits to doing Zumba?
Well, it's cardio. It keeps your heart in shape, but it's also a good way to keep your body moving, especially in college. Like, you're at a desk a lot of the times. It's a good way to just keep moving, and it's fun. It's great for all ages and all levels of expertise.
We just finished up Zumba on the quad. I'm Eliza White with the Good 5 Cent Cigar. Back to you.
Thanks, Eliza. Looking ahead, here's what's going on next week at URI. Are you looking to catch up or get ahead in your academic plan? Registration for the Winter J-Term 2026 has opened on eCampus. With more than 130 classes available, J-Term helps you stay on track, get ahead, and explore something new. All URI offices will be closed on Monday due to Columbus and Indigenous Peoples Day. Classes will not meet. Finally, the Residence Hall Association will be showing a screening of the movie Scream next Thursday on the Quad at 7 p.m. The first 75 residents to come will receive a free blanket. With that, I'll hand it off to Gerard Villemenay with this week's Rhody Sports Corner.
Hello and welcome to the Rhody Sports Corner, your place for all the latest updates across URI athletics. I'm Gerard Villemenay. The football team traveled to Pawtucket on Friday night to compete in the annual Governor's Cup against in-state rival Brown University. However, the Rams suffered their second consecutive loss after committing 4 turnovers on the day, leading Brown to win 28-21. Michael Petraske has the story from Pawtucket.
History at Centerville Bank Stadium as URI loses the Governor's Cup for the first time since 2017 in what was a preview of future Rhody home games next season as they play here while Meade Stadium undergoes renovations. This was the 43rd iteration of the Governor's Cup, with URI holding a 23-19 series lead. Brown, on the other hand, holds a 73-33-2 all-time series record between the two teams. This was also the first time in the rivalry's 116-year history that it was held in a location other than Kingston or Providence. URI started with the ball, and just 3 plays in, URI quarterback Devin Farrell gets hit as he throws, and Brown cornerback Elias Archie intercepts the ball and returns it to the URI 10 to start the Bears' first drive with a 1st and goal. 2 plays later, Brown running back Matt Childs races to the left sideline and beats the URI defenders and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. URI answered with their own touchdown drive as they went 9 plays and 59 yards, capping it off with this 6-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Marquise Buchanan. Brown methodically moved down the field on the following drive, going 15 plays and ending with Brown wide receiver Ty Pezza essentially saying to Rhody cornerback Trey Lubin, "You got mossed." After quick drives by both teams, Farrell throws a bomb to wide receiver Omari Walker to tie the game once again at 14 apiece. The tie was short-lived as Childs scored his 2nd touchdown of the day on the following drive. The score headed into halftime 21-14 in favor of Brown. As URI looked to tie the game once again, Greg Gaines made the extra effort to reach out and try and cross the goal line for the touchdown, but it is knocked out and eventually ruled a touchback. Brown took advantage of the ruling and went down the field for their 4th touchdown of the day and took a 28-14 lead. Here's what Coach Fleming had to say about the play.
Greg's, I thought that was, probably straining for the extra yard right now, trying to get it in and knock that bad boy out there. I think that obviously would have been a big swing, would have been a touchdown versus instead turned into a touchback.
Missed field goals by both teams and a fumble by Buchanan kept the game at 28-14 until Farrell hit tight end Matt Smith on the play-action pass for the touchdown with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game. Rhode Island's defense forced a Brown punt and gave one final drive for the Rams. On 3rd down, Farrell heaves a pass into triple coverage, and it is picked off by Miles Brophy to end the game and give Brown their first win in the Governor's Cup since 2017. For the Rhody Sports Corner, I'm Michael Petraske.
Thanks, Michael. Women's volleyball hosted Davidson for a 2-game series over the weekend as Rhody was looking for their first win in Atlantic 10 conference play. The Rams were swept 3-0 on Saturday afternoon. Here is Angel Gonzalez with the story from Keeney Gymnasium.
Saturday afternoon here at Keeney Stadium was a disappointing one as Rhode Island fell in a 3-set shutout to Davidson. Although the scoreboard says otherwise, it was a tooth-and-nail fight with Rhode Island trying to stay in the game as long as possible.
The first set of this volleyball match was extremely competitive as Rhode Island and Davidson would go back and forth to start off this match. Davidson would then take a 10-5 lead before Rhode Island would chip back to make it 11-11. The match went back and forth, both teams exchanging kills trying to secure the set win. Rhode Island then had 4 set
points at 24-20 before Davidson ran off with 6 straight points to take the set. Elena Garcia-Guerreros then had 3 kills and a solo block during the run to give Davidson the 26-24 set win. Set 2 was nearly just as competitive as set 1, with Rhode Island trying their hardest to make it a 1-1 game. URI was leading 19-18 after an attack error from Davidson before the Wildcats would score 7 of the final 8 points in a 25-20 final to take the set. Adriana, Johnson, and Guerreros each had 2 kills during the run as the Wildcats stacked a 2-0 lead. URI had a negative attack percentage in this set, getting 7 kills with 8 attack errors. The start of the third set was very competitive as Rhode Island was trying their best to come back from a 2-0 deficit, though it didn't last long as Davidson would quickly take over the match with a 16-8 lead. The Wildcats were relentless and never let the Rams back into this set as it ended 25-16 to sweep the Rams. Emma Slusser had 4 kills without an error, and Guerreros added 3 of her own to put the match away. Guerreros was the star of this game as she had 12 kills, 2 aces, and 2 blocks. On the plus side for Rhode Island, the Rams had a season-high 10 service aces. Emma Vente had 7 kills, 5 digs, and 4 service aces. Haven Roll led the team with 9 kills to go with 4 digs. Riley Powers had 18 digs. It was her 4th straight match with at least 11 digs. And Emma Sturmanska had 22 assists and 6 digs. The Rams will look to bounce back from this as they visit the Fordham Rams for a single match Wednesday, October 8th at 5 p.m.
Thanks, Angel. As for some other scores and results around campus this week, men's soccer secured its first conference win of the season on Saturday, defeating St. Bonaventure 2-0. Then the Rams hosted Duquesne on Wednesday night. Women's soccer defeated Fordham 2-0 on Thursday before traveling to Virginia on Sunday, where the Rams tied with Richmond 0-0. Prior to Saturday's match, women's volleyball lost to Davidson 3-2 in the first game of the 2-game set on Friday. Then the team went on the road for a midweek battle against Fordham on Wednesday. Men's cross country finished 20th out of 40 teams at the Paul Short Invitational this weekend. Women's cross country also went to the Paul Short Invitational on Friday as the Rams placed 10th out of 39 teams. Women's tennis participated at the Harvard Fall Classic over the weekend. Finally, women's rowing had its first event of the season at the Head of Oklahoma on Saturday. That is all for this week's edition of the Rhody Sports Corner. To stay updated with all things URI athletics, follow us on X at @cigar_sports. Also, check out the first episode of the brand new Cigar Sports Talk podcast on Spotify. Back to you, Ellie.
Thanks, Gerard. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow us here and on Instagram at Rhody Cigar and pick up our print paper anywhere on campus to stay up to date with all your Rhody news. Find us online at rhodycigar.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Ellie Sennhenn. This is the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. And as always, have a great week, Rhody.